Hi everybody, this is Mr. Risk. Just like last week, I'm gonna go through a video, kind of show you what I want, what I kind of expect for this week, and then you'll turn it in hopefully by Friday. I would like, again, like last week, I'd like everything turned in by Friday. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that everybody's staying safe. I hope that you are getting to spend some time with your family. Okay, and we're gonna get started. So first, I want to have us do a little bit of a review. Okay. And this is not something that I sent you. This is from the stuff from last week. But this I would like to review really quick. Different word parts. Okay. So if we look here on this paper. Oops. If we look here, this is on page 162. Again, just follow along. You don't need to fill anything out. I don't want you to fill anything out. Just watch. So we have prefixes and suffixes. Remember, a prefix is what goes in the beginning of a root word, and a suffix goes at the end. Okay. So some of the prefixes we talked about are pre, okay, re. Okay. So pre means before. So if you see pre before the root word, it means before. So if you look here where it says pre-colonial, that means before there were colonies. Pre-measure, you measure something before you cut it. Like you'll take a ruler, measure something before you actually cut it. Hopeful, okay, so that's the suffix full. Okay, so that means like full of, like hopeful. If I say I'm hopeful about this, that means I am full of hope. Okay. So re means to do again, reproduce. And then the suffix able means able to do. Okay. Let's say I give you some work to do and I think you are all able to do it. I might say it's doable. You are able to do it. Okay. Do is the root word, able is the suffix. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you some examples here. And again, this isn't something you're going to turn in, but I just kind of want to go through it just because it's something that you should know. So use suffixes er and y. So think of the word, or look at the example right here. Er, someone who does this action, like a farmer. A farmer is somebody who farms. Farm is the root word. Er is the suffix. Farmer is a person who farms. Y, okay, that means having the quality of as a suffix. Healthy, so if you feel healthy, that means you feel like you have health. Okay. Think about the meaning of each word part, put the meanings together to understand the whole word. Okay. Cloudy, so there's lots of clouds outside. It's cloudy because the weather is like clouds. The weather has the quality of having lots of clouds. Okay. Player, somebody who plays. You could say have a baseball player. Okay. Play is the root word. Er is the suffix. Somebody who plays is a player. Dusty. Okay. Dust is the thing, right? So you might see dust on the floor. Dusty, it's like the whole room is kind of messy. The whole room is dusty. Worker, that's somebody who works. Silky is like silk. Okay, so silk is a type of fabric. If I say this is very silky, it has the quality of silk. It might not be silk, but it feels like silk. I might say it's silky. Builder, okay, that's somebody who builds stuff. Okay, so maybe construction worker could also be a builder, somebody who builds stuff. Curly, having the quality of curls, like somebody might have curly hair. Singer, again, somebody who sings. So here are some examples. Complete the letter. To her pen pal, use the correct base words and the suffix er or y. Okay. Dear Maya, it was blank on Saturday, so I stayed indoors. Okay, so if you're staying indoors, would it be rainy, messy, clean, health, or watch? Okay, so that would be rainy. It was rainy on Saturday, so I stayed indoors. Okay, so if I say rainy, that means there's lots of rain and the weather is like it's raining all day. Dad said, your mom is so blank. Okay. It's a good thing I'm a fast blank. As soon as I was done, I fixed a blank snack. Then I watched a movie. Are you a movie? Are you a movie too? Okay. So when your dad says your room is so blank, I'm going to say messy for that one. Dad says your room is so messy. It's a good thing I'm a fast cleaner. Okay. Someone who cleans is a cleaner. Okay. Or you might use that word to have like a spray bottle, right? You could call it a cleaner. Its job is to clean. Clean plus ER would be cleaner. As soon as I was done, I fixed a healthy snack. Then I watched a movie. Are you a movie watcher too? Okay. All right. I'm not going to go through all these super thoroughly because I know we've done these before. But again, re means to do again. Un means not. So retell, if I retell a story, I tell the story again. If I replay a movie, I play the movie again. Un means not. Okay, the prefix un means not. So uncertain would be not certain. So let's look at the ones that have un first. Unsafe. So if you feel unsafe, you're saying you do not feel safe. Unfit, not fit. Unhappy means you are not happy. Unkind means you are not very kind. Okay. Reclaim. Okay. To claim again. So if you claim something, that's like you say it is yours. So if you reclaim something, somebody probably took it for you and then you take it back. That would be reclaim. Repay, to pay again. Rebuild, to build again. So let's say your house gets hit by a storm or a tornado or something like that. You might rebuild the house. Redo means to do again. Okay. All right, so compound words. When you see a long word, it helps to break it into parts to understand the meaning. Unimportant, not important. Okay, right here. Comfortable means able to have comfort. Okay, if it's comfortable, it's able to feel okay. It's able to be comforted. Okay. Classroom, class plus room equals classroom. Okay, so unimportant, not important. Comfortable is able to feel comfort. Classroom is class plus room, compound words. So again, this is a kind of puts all the stuff that we've been talking about together. Un means not. Re means to do again. Able can be done. Er, one who does the action. Ly or y in a certain way. So look at number one here. Believable. Okay, so believe plus able. So if something is believable, you're able to believe it. So somebody says something that makes sense. If I say something that makes sense, you could say it is believable. You are able to believe it. Okay. Rearrange. So arrange means like to put stuff in order. Prefix re, to do again. Verb arrange. So it's like you arrange your stuff again, rearrange. Sweatband. Okay, so something you could put here or here. Sweat plus band, sweatband, meaning it's a band that holds your sweat. Differently, okay, different in a certain way. Different plus ly, differently, different in a certain way. Anybody, any, plus body, any person, anybody, everything, okay, every plus thing, okay? So a teacher might say turn in everything. That means turn in all the things that you have. Seriously, serious, plus ly, so serious in a certain way. You could say, I do not take her seriously. I do not take her serious in that way. Okay, so this stuff I'm hoping is just kind of a review. I put this in your email. You can look at it if you want. There's not anything you need to fill out with it, but just go ahead and look at it and then think about it, because this is going to be helpful later on. All right, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to go over again and just kind of review that story that we talked about last time. Okay, give me 1 minute and I'll get it. Oops. Give me 1 second. I had the wrong book open. All right, so last time we read If the World Were a Village. Now what I want you to do is I'm gonna read through it again just to kind of remind you of what was in the reading, okay? Because either next week or probably in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a quiz over this stuff, and this story will be part of that quiz. Now you can always go back and read it on your own, but if I read it to you again, I think you might remember it a little bit better from reading as well as listening, okay? So, welcome to the global village. The earth is crowded. It gets more crowded every year. In 2008, the world's population was 6.7 billion. 11 countries had more than 100 million people. China had more than 1.3 billion. These numbers are big. They can be hard to understand. Instead, think of them differently. Imagine the world as a village of 100 people. Each person in this village stands for 67 million people from the real world. We can learn about these villagers. They can teach us about the people in the world. They teach us about world problems. Languages. Ni hao, hello. Namaste. Javute, hello. Alan, Selmati Pagi. These villagers use many languages. What languages do they speak? There are almost 6,000 languages in the global village. More than half of the people speak 8 languages. 21 speak Chinese, 9 speak English, 9 speak Hindi, 7 speak Spanish, 4 Arabic, 4 Bengali, 3 Portuguese, and 3 Russian. Learn how to say hello in these languages. You can greet many people in the world. Food. There is a lot of food in the global village. There is enough food for everyone, but the food is not divided equally. Many people are hungry. Enough and not enough. Women sell many kinds of vegetables in this busy market. Some people buy food here and then sell it to their neighbors. This family has a lot of food to share. The men at this market only sell a few kind of vegetables. This family has just a little food to eat. The air and water are safe in most of the village, but some air and water are polluted. Pollution makes people sick. Sometimes there is not enough clean water. The villagers must walk a long way to find more. How many people have safe water? How many people breathe clean air? 83 people have safe water in or near their homes. 17 people do not have safe water in or near their homes. 68 people breathe clean air. 32 people breathe polluted air. A bell rings for the school day. Some children in the village have no school near them. Others do. They don't go to school. They must work instead. They help feed their families. How many people attend school? Not everybody in the global village can read and write. 59 people over the age of 15 can read at least a little. 13 cannot read at all. More males than females learn how to read. Think about your place in the global village. What is your life like? How does it compare to the lives of people around you? Get to know the world you live in. It is a small but precious place. Okay. All right. So that's a global village. And again, that's going to be on your test. You can go back from the email from last week and read it on your own. I think that would be a good idea for you to do as well. So right here, this is in your email. I'm going to show you how to get to it. Okay. Where it says textbook. So 177, this is the textbook page we're going to start on. This is the new stuff. None of this is review. I want you to pause this video right now and just read this textbook page. Again, to get to it, go to your email and click on textbook, hit pause, and read this page. Okay, so now I'm going to read it for you. This says, we are all the same, like pebbles in a riverbed, each of us so different. Okay, so now remember what our unit is about. What all of us are, how are we the same and how are we different, right? So we're talking about in this unit how people are the same and how people are different. Okay, give me one sec. So we are all the same, like pebbles in a riverbed. So these are pebbles, right? These are small rocks. These are pebbles. Each of us so different. So this says we're all the same, but also we're all different, right? Last week we talked about how we have things that make us the same, and at the same time we have lots of things that make us pretty different. Okay. Now before we go to the next reading, click on this ELL work due May 8th. Okay. Again, follow these directions: file, make a copy, put your name, and then put the class. Actually, put your class first and then put your name. All right, so this is the example of kind of how to do that. So 1 minute. All right, so using adjectives before nouns. Now, I know that we've talked about this before, okay, about how to use and when to use adjectives before nouns, but this is a review. Okay, so some adjectives describe by telling how many. They come before the person, place, or thing they are describing. Okay, I have 2 feet. I have 10 fingers. I have 2 eyes. Okay, adjective before noun. Raina plays a game at the park with her 3 cousins. One tree is very wide. Raina hides behind it. You can use adjectives like some or many when you are not sure the exact number of something. The park has many trees. Some are very tall. Not all, but some. Okay, so right here, I don't want you to write on this one here. Okay, I'm going to have you write and do some practice on the next ones. Complete each sentence, write an adjective from the box. I talked to blank families at the park. You could say, I talked to 2 families at the park. Raina's family sits together at 1 table. Okay, so 1 is the adjective, table is the noun. Her brother sees many friends from school. Raina plays near a pond with 4 ducks. Okay, and again, I'm just kind of guessing a little bit to know the exact answer because there's not like one answer that's perfect. But yeah, just this is just to help you remember adjectives come before noun, and these are numbers describing things, right? Like 2 eyes, 2 feet, 10 fingers. Complete each sentence, write an adjective that tells how many. Blank families at the park fly kites. I could say 5 families at the park fly kites. So, if you don't know, these are kites, right? They fly up in the air when it's windy. 5 families at the park fly kites. The kite has 3 stripes on it, right? 4 children in Raina's family play baseball. Angel hits 2 home runs. Okay. And again, I'm just using numbers to show that the number comes before the noun. Use adjectives before nouns. Okay. So adjectives can describe how something sounds, feels, or tastes. The candy tastes sweet. Okay. So that would be, actually, that one's different. Okay. And we're going to explain that later. But adjectives can describe telling how sounds, feels, or tastes. So in this case, we're going to start out with the adjective before the noun. We will talk about how to put it after in some different situations, like if it's a verb. So Sid's home is a cold climate. Okay, so climate is the long term how the weather is, and it's cold. Cold climate. So loud winds howl outside. So the wind is loud. We describe them. The adjective is loud. Noun is winds. Okay. So let's look down here. All right. Let's look down here. Sid ice skates on the blank ice. Okay. So ice skating. Like this. All right. Ice skating. Which one are we doing? This one. Okay. Sid skates on the best one there would be smooth ice, right? It's not warm, it's not sharp, it's not noisy, it's smooth. His ice skates have blank blades. Ice skates have sharp blades. Okay, so blades are like right here, and they are sharp. There's describing them as sharp. They are sharp blades. Okay. He hears the blank sounds of children. Aunt Ella gives Sid a blank cup of cocoa. All right, so part A and B. Right now, go ahead and do this on your own. Like I showed you how to do before, go in your email, file, make a copy, name of the class, and then your name. Go ahead and pause the video and finish this part. Okay, now you should be done with this part. I did a couple examples, and then you can do the rest on your own. So here's what I'd like you to do now. Go back to your textbook And what we're going to do next is we're going to do a reading. I want you to think about headings first. Okay. So a heading or title of a section tells what the section is about. Okay. We've talked about this before, right? When you read a title, that should put something off in your brain. Do I already know about this? What are some connections I can make? All right. So, freaky food. So what we're going to be reading about here is some different foods around the world. Okay, so sometimes I might eat a food that you guys might think is different. Sometimes you guys might eat a food that I think is weird or different. Okay, so freaky foods. Here's what I want you to do. Start on this page here, 179, and stop on page 182. Okay, so 179 through 182, go ahead and read on your own right now, and then we'll read it together. Okay, go ahead and get to work. Hit pause. All right, so you should be through 177 through 182. Here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read it with you, and this will be the second time you have read it. Whoops, I did the wrong one. Okay. All right, so here we go. Freaky food. In If the World Were a Village, David Smith uses numbers to show how people are different. How does the author of this magazine show how there are differences around the world? Okay, so think about that. Talked about how people are different around the world in the last reading. Think about that, how it's the same and different in this one. Have you eaten ants? Kids in many countries munch on fried ants. You may say, ew, but it's normal for them. People eat the foods of their country, like they like those foods. You're bugging me. Insects give you a lot of energy. Early American pioneers ate bugs when they didn't have other food. People in Africa, Australia, Europe, Asia, and America. Many people eat insects in over half the world. They say ants taste good. So, pioneers, those are people who traveled across the US in the late 1800s, 1700s through the 1800s. Okay. Chicken feet. Our grocery stores have a lot of food. There are still things that are hard to find there. Do you know what happens to chicken feet? Every week, the US sends 30 million pounds of them to Asia. They are popular there. Eat a weed. Did you know that you can eat some kind of dandelions? Europeans and Americans have eaten them for centuries. The leaves make a salad. The yellow flowers can be fried. They are eaten like French fries. Make sure to wash the flowers well before you cook them. Seaweed is also very popular, and it is in many of the foods we eat every day. Your hamburger might have some seaweed. Your ice cream might too. Bet you can't taste it. What's on the menu? Different foods are eaten around the world. That is no surprise. The people of the world are very different too. We have different cultures. We may believe different things. Our countries grow different foods. Some people are lucky, they have a lot of food. Others are not as lucky. They eat what they can find. All of these things are important. They help us decide which foods to eat. They give us different tastes. Try a little test. At lunch today, look around. What freaky foods do you see? Before you say ew, look at your own lunch. What would other people say? Your favorite meal might be a freaky food to your neighbor. That's okay. Our foods can be different and special, just like all the people in the world. Okay? All right, so you read it once, you listened to it once, okay? If you're having some trouble, maybe just read it again. Try and remember it as best you can. Now, right here, we have a couple questions here, and then we'll go back to that other part. What test does the author want you to try in Freaky Foods? So the very last page, what does the author want you to do? And then this part, what are some of your favorite meals? Do you think some people might find them freaky? Okay, so tell me your favorite meals, and then how might other people think about that? All right, so let's look up here. Use adjectives after is, am, is, and are. Most of the time, an adjective comes before the noun. My class likes the new museum. We see tall statues. If a sentence has the verb am, is, or are, you can put the adjective after the verb. The museum is new. The statues are tall. Okay. My friends are happy to be here. Pedro is curious about art. Okay. All right. So am, is, and are adjectives comes after the verb. Okay. I am blank to see the beautiful colors. Okay. So curious, happy, peaceful, scary, upset. I'm going to put happy. I am happy to see the beautiful colors. Now, if we get further down the road and happy works better somewhere else, then we can switch it, right? Some paintings have interesting shapes in them. Kim is curious. She wants to see what they're like. She's curious about them. Then go ahead and try and do the rest of these on your own. Now, for this part, write an adjective to complete each sentence. So these are ones that you're just thinking up in your own head. Taylor is blank about the artist. Is she excited? Is she scared? What word goes best there? He is blank to be an artist. What does he want to do? How does he feel when he thinks about himself being an artist? We ask good questions. Our teacher is blank. Devin wants to eat lunch. He is blank. I want to see more art. I am blank to go. All right, so go ahead and finish that up. Now, I want you to get through. So this one you don't have to fill out, right? Because you can't, it won't let you. The other ones, okay, fill this out the best you can. This page, and then this one also. When you're done with that, you have a short reading here. Talks about famine, dying of hunger. What is famine? Okay, so this is kind of goes with our theme of the global village, right? So what is life like for people in different places in the world? Okay, so this can be kind of a sad reading. You don't have to do it right away, but I just think it's something that you should know about. Okay, and then you have 5 questions there at the end. So this page, this document, make sure you get all of it filled out. Okay, so 9 pages, but not every page has something to fill out. Okay, so again, share it with me when you're done. I'll show you how to do that. Go to share, type in my name, and send. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for you this week. Again, I hope you're doing really, really well. If you have any questions about ELL or any other classes, please send me an email and let me know. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, have a good one.